Once upon a time, in a village called Amansi, there lived Chiso, a very beautiful and desirable lady. She was admired by almost all the men in the village and the neighboring villages as well because of her beauty. But Chiso was very lazy. Unlike her siblings, who were very diligent and ambitious, Chisom was the complete opposite. Her parents had tried many times to counsel and advise her, but Chisom refused to change. She was the last daughter of her parents, so she was pampered and spoiled by her parents. When Chisom was very little, she was very gorgeous, so a lot of people admired and took a liking to her. Her parents refused to let her do anything at home. Her elder siblings were responsible for washing her clothes, cleaning the house, cooking the food, and also going to the farm, while Chisom stayed at home and did absolutely nothing. Because of this, Chisom grew up to be very lazy and nonchalant. Her parents regretted what they did, but it was too late for them. A lot of men from far and wide would often come to Amansi village to ask for Chisom's hand in marriage, but she would rudely reject and embarrass them in front of everyone. Chisom wanted a man who was very wealthy and prominent. "I'm too beautiful to marry a wretched or poor man," Chisom would often tell everyone. She felt like a goddess of beauty. Nobody was worthy. A few years later, when her parents saw that they couldn't keep up with her laziness anymore, they sent her to the city to live with her aunt called Grace. Grace was a businesswoman. She owned a supermarket where she sold all variety of provisions. Grace welcomed Chisom warmly and gave her a very nice room of her own. Grace was married to Andrew, a banker in the city, so Andrew wasn't always at home. They were yet to have children of their own, so they treated Chisom like their own daughter. However, it didn't take long before Chisom started to show her true colors. Her aunt tried to convince her to go to school or learn a skill, but Chisom insisted that she didn't want to do anything. She told her aunt that she was too beautiful to work and all she needed was a very wealthy man who would marry her and take care of her. Being provoked by Chisom's personality, Grace threatened to send her out of the house if she refused to make a decision. So Chisom decided to work at the supermarket. Grace was glad by the decision she made and promised to pay Chisom a good sum of money every month if she could be responsible. One day, Chisom was working at her aunt's supermarket when a very young, handsome man called Emeka came in to buy some things. When Emeka was picking some items off the shelf, he saw Chisom and he felt infatuated by her beauty instantly. Emeka approached Chisom and told her that he liked her, but Chisom told him that she would think about it. Her aunt was in the shop when Emeka approached Chisom, and so after Emeka left, she informed Chisom that Emeka was a consistent and trustworthy customer. She persuaded Chisom to give him a chance. A week later, Chisom accepted to go out with Emeka. On their date, Emeka told her all about himself. He told Chisom that he was a businessman and would love to make Chisom his wife. He also told her that he would open a supermarket for her and establish her if she agrees to be his wife. But Chisom wasn't interested in Emeka because she wanted to be a full-time housewife who does nothing but spend money, visit clubs, and travel around the world. However, she didn't tell her aunt what her intentions were. She simply told her aunt that she was still thinking about Emeka's proposal. Chisom was too lazy that she found it very difficult to work at her aunt's shop. She was required to wake up very early in the morning to open the supermarket early, and she had no time to sleep or lazy around. While she was working at the supermarket, Chisom met two ladies her age called Sandra and Bianca, and they influenced her negatively. Whenever Sandra and Bianca came to the supermarket to buy things, they would fill Chisom's ears with tales of their luxurious adventures, the different countries they've been to, the kind of cars they entered, and the expensive jewelries they bought. Chisom became so interested in their lifestyle. She completely ignored Emeka and even started acting strange towards her aunt. One day, Sandra and Bianca came to the supermarket and told Chisom that they would be traveling to a different state to celebrate their birthdays, and they invited Chisom to come with them. Chisom knew that her aunt would not permit her to go, so she secretly packed her things and ran away with Sandra and Bianca. Together, they all traveled to another state for the birthday party. Chisom saw a lot of things which enticed her: luxurious cars, beautiful mansions, and all sorts of luxury items. A lot of prominent rich men were in attendance as well. While the three girls sat and gisted, Chisom was curious as to how Sandra and Bianca were able to afford their lifestyle. She asked them to put her through, but they told her that she may not be able to do what was involved. Chisom pressured them further, and they revealed to her that they enticed older men who were very rich and divorced. Then they would compel these men to marry them. After the marriage, they would convince the old men to rewrite their wills to grace them. In less than 5 years, the old man would die and they would be the sole benefactor of its inheritance. Chisom was surprised at what they said because she was still a virgin and had not known man. But she ignored the thought and enjoyed the rest of the evening with them. The next day, they took her shopping and bought her all sorts of things, compelling her the more to even consider their way of life. After 1 week, Chisom knew that she couldn't return to her aunt's place. She wanted to live like Sandra and Bianca, so she pleaded with them to link her up. She pleaded with them to find a very old man that she could marry and inherit his wealth after his demise. After much contemplation, Sandra and Bianca decided to help her. They introduced her to a very wealthy man known as Chief Nzube. He was a very rich billionaire. Chief Nzube had a weakness for beautiful young women, and it was rumored that that is the reason why his wife divorced him. However, Chief Nzube was said to be ill, and a lot of people believed he would die very soon. Chief Nzube's birthday was a few days away, so the girls decided that Chisom would approach and entice him during his birthday party. They taught her a lot of things, such as dancing like a stripper and seducing men to do her bidding. On the appointed day, Chisom dressed so seductively in a skimpy dress to entice Chief Nzube. She danced so well in front of him, and Chief Nzube took interest in her. After the birthday party, he took Chisom home. But when he tried to sleep with Chisom, she revealed to him that she was a virgin and had vowed that she wouldn't give her body to any man who isn't her husband. Chief Nzube was surprised at her statements. He found it very difficult to believe that a lady who was still a virgin could dance so well and equally followed him home. So Chief Nzube made her a promise. He promised her that he would marry her if she was a virgin. Chisom accepted the promise and slept with him. After he discovered that truly she was a virgin, he got married to her legally. Chisom started living large and luxuriously. She had everything she wanted and could travel to any country of her choice. However, Chief Nzube gave her a condition. He made her swear an oath that she would never sleep with any other man except him. Chisom didn't consider the repercussions of her decision before she quickly accepted to take the oath. All she cared about was Chief Nzube's wealth. And just as Sandra and Bianca had told her, all that he had would soon belong to her. She anticipated the day that Chief Nzube would die, so she would gain control of his empire. Sandra and Bianca equally warned her never to get pregnant for him. So whenever Chief Nzube slept with her, she made sure to take some pills to avoid getting pregnant. Years went by and Chief Nzube still lived. Life became uncomfortable for Chisom because as time went on, Chief Nzube started imposing strict rules on her. He stopped her from keeping late nights, from going to clubs, and doing things that would expose her to other men. Chief Nzube was a very jealous man, so he made sure Chisom was always confined at home. She could spend and lavish money the way she wanted, but she lacked the freedom to explore. This made Chisom very uncomfortable, yet she had no choice but to endure because she eagerly anticipated the day that Chief Nzube would die. One day, Chief Nzube traveled to another country on a business seminar. Chisom seized the opportunity to visit Sandra and Bianca. She complained to them about what she was going through and how unbearable it was living with Chief Nzube. But they persuaded her to endure, even though it was taking longer than they expected. While they discussed, Sandra brought up an evil suggestion. She told Chisom to murder Chief Nzube instead of waiting forever. He's already a sick and old man. He has written his will to favor you after his death. So why don't you simply kill him and get over with it? Sandra suggested. Chisom was shocked at her words. She looked at Bianca, hoping that Bianca would be against Sandra's suggestion. But Bianca equally said the same thing. I think that's a better idea. Just kill him slowly in a way that no one will suspect you. Then, inherit his wealth and move on with your life, Bianca added. Chisom became dumbfounded. How will you ask me to commit murder? She asked. Well, the ball is in your court. Is either this or you continue enduring in the hopes that he would die soon enough, Sandra told her. Don't forget that you're turning 24 soon. The earlier you think about it, the better, Bianca equally said. When they left, Chisom couldn't stop thinking about what they said. Chief Nzube was already 80 years old. What's there to live for? Maybe it isn't a bad idea just to kill him. Chisom tried to convince herself that it wasn't wrong to kill him, just as Sandra and Bianca suggested. Some days later, Chief Uzbe returned, and by this time, Chisom had already made up her mind to kill him once and for all. She had visited a local herbalist in Chief Uzbe's absence, and the herbalist gave her a white substance which he claimed was tasteless and untraceable. He instructed Chisom to put it in Chief Uzbe's food every night. The herbalist promised her that Chief Uzbe's health would start deteriorating gradually until he eventually kicks the bucket. On the night of the day that Chief Uzbe returned, Chisom entered the kitchen to prepare a very delicious meal for him. But while she was cooking, she slumped and fell to the ground. Chisom was quickly rushed to the hospital. After some hours, she woke up on the hospital bed. The doctors told her that a series of tests were performed and it concluded that she had AIDS. The doctors told her that it has eaten deep into her system and she had just few months to live. Chisom was so heartbroken at the report she received. She didn't understand how she would be infected with AIDS. Chief Uzbe was the first and only man she had ever slept with, so she was confused. When she was discharged from the hospital, she charged at Chief Uzbe immediately she got home, screaming and yelling at him. Why did you infect me? Chisom cried and yelled at the top of her voice. Chief Uzbe's guards instantly seized her to stop her from injuring the chief. When Chisom was calm, Chief Uzbe told her that he had HIV and had been infected for many years. He confessed to Chisom that it was the reason his wife left him. He was a chronic womanizer, and his wife was lucky to find out in time so she wasn't infected. However, when he saw how desperate and naive Chisom was, he decided to use her instead, since she was intoxicated by his wealth. This was the reason he made her take an oath not to sleep with any other man so she wouldn't infect someone else. Chisom was heartbroken. She knew it was the end for her and there was nothing she could do to save herself. She spent the remaining months of her life confined to a bed in one of the rooms in Chief Uzbe's mansion, regretting her decisions in life and wishing she had listened to her aunt in the first place. In the last minutes of her life, Chisom called her aunt and family. She apologized for the wrong things she did and asked for their forgiveness.
I was too greedy, foolish, and stubborn. I never listened to you guys when you advised me. Now look at where I have ended. I am doomed.
While she was on the call, she took her last breath and passed away. Chief Uzbe gave her a small burial and moved on to another young, naive lady like Chisom never existed. Her friends, Sandra and Bianca, didn't bother looking for her. They simply ignored her existence and moved on. But hidden secretly under her bed in Chief Uzbe's mansion, Chisom wrote a letter and hid the poison with it. In the letter, she wrote, "My greed pushed me to fall into this trap. With this paper is a dangerous poison meant to kill Chief Uzbe. He's infected with HIV. Avenge me if you can, or avenge us both if it's too late for you already. But Chief Uzube was a sinister old man. He made a pact with the devil after he found out that he was infected with HIV. Since there was no cure, he was required to sleep with a young girl every 5 years and infect her with the disease. He was promised that he would continue living for as long as he exchanged his life for that of a young girl every 5 years. Do you think someone would find the notes which Chisom wrote? The moral lesson of this story reminds us that there is no shortcut in life. Everything good has a price to pay. Greed has its repercussions. Train up your child the right way, to be independent and to be diligent. It will help them a lot and equally save you. Be mindful of the friends you keep. The fact that other people can do certain things and go scot-free doesn't mean you can equally do the same things and escape. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, comment and share. Thank you and God bless you.